About investing in innovative and alternative treatment, something you mentioned, Senator Moran, at the beginning. And Commander Hannon was someone who loved nature. As he retired as a Navy SEAL and went to Montana, he got involved in getting veterans out to nature. He was involved in like raptor rescues and wildlife rescues. Senator Tester, how do you see that as a component here? And how do you convince members of Congress that this is for real and this isn't like wishy-washy, feel-good stuff?
There's been some stuff done, I'm sure, around the country, but certainly in Montana on things that you wouldn't really think could be effective, but is incredibly effective. Fly fishing, for example. There's a number of groups out there that take veterans out fly fishing. I'm not a big fly fisherman because I don't have the skills to do it, but I went out with them one day. It was absolutely the most amazing, peaceful experience that I've had in my lifetime. It was just amazing. So this stuff that's outside the box stuff, I think it works. I think working with horses works, equine therapy. I think that yoga therapy, as you can tell by my body, I'm not big into yoga, but the truth is I think it can work. And is
there a role for the federal government? I mean, I know groups that take hunters up to Alaska, but they're like nonprofits, they fundraise.
The role here is none of this stuff is free. It all costs money. And as Jerry talked about at the beginning, we have an obligation to our veterans. You put forth the statistics. What we've been doing hasn't been working to the point where it needs to work. So we need to think outside the box. And I think the Commander John Scott Hannon bill does exactly that. It gives other tools, more tools for the VA to utilize. And you know, if this bill saves one life, it's well worth it, and I think it's going to save far more than that.
A point that two of you that I'd like to highlight is that we need perhaps the most effective, I'll be more cautious, one of the most effective tools is community programs, private organizations, veterans helping other veterans. We need to continue to encourage.
Encourage how?
Encourage, for example, you mentioned agriculture. We have the appropriations process a couple of years ago created a grant program at USDA, not at the VA, but at the Department of Agriculture. And we have a handful of programs across the country in which private organizations have teamed up to create a farm environment, to teach soldiers who have returned to the United States how to produce agriculture, how to produce livestock and crops. It is a career. It's a combination because the average age of a farmer is increasing dramatically. We need new farmers. At the same time, those who return from war need new careers. The combination of those two things can be very effective, and it's a private not-for-profit corporation who does that in Kansas, but it's also they're accommodated by federal resources, taxpayer dollars. So it is a combination.
And one thing I want to make sure we talk about are women.